And if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop.
Welcome to In the Vibe. I'm Bass B.
And I'm DIZZ-E. You all know with a capital E.
Watch out, watch out. Uh-oh, the beat is
going. And we are Critical Opinion in the Vibe.
First of all, thank you for subscribing.
And thank you for following us.
That's right.
Okay, and continue to subscribe.
That's right here.
Press it. Ding, ding, ding. Don't forget to ring the bell and follow us on Twitter,
Instagram,
Facebook,
TikTok.
And there you go. And don't forget to follow us on Critical Opinion, on our other YouTube channel where we release our music. And you can listen to it. If you haven't heard our music yet, go there. Go check it out. But then come back. Okay? But do come back. Okay?
That's right.
All right. So now, anyways, great things have been happening. Good things have been happening. It's the summertime. Summertime. So this week and last week, interesting things have been happening.
Let's talk about world current events. First, we should start with Britain. Your guys, UK. What is happening?
Oh, you mean the Trump version?
The
Trump version, the UK's version of Trump, right? If you guys don't know, right? Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, he resigned. Basically, everybody wanted him to resign because he's just taking the country down the drain. He doesn't have any kind of plans, nothing, and so let's see where we go from here. All right, moving on.
So we're talking about, I think you heard about it with the former Prime Minister in Japan, Shinzo Abe.
Yeah, he got shot. Right?
He died, man.
He died? I thought he just got shot.
No, he died. It came out a couple of hours ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Man, that's sad.
Yeah.
And he was a nice guy too. Right?
Yeah, you know, we don't know. I'll speak for my part. I don't know so much about the Japanese politics and government, but from what I've seen from him, he seemed like a nice, peaceful guy. He was trying to change the economy and set some rules in Japan, and
he was a very nice guy. He had good relations internationally. And so that's a good prime minister, and he did a lot for the people of Japan. So people in Japan, we feel very sad for you. Our condolences to your country and to the prime minister's family, right? And so we hope that you all will recover from this sad day. Hey, R. Kelly's going in for life. Right? You want to talk about that?
You know what's so sad? Because the man, no matter how much I really am frustrated with him, the music is just timeless. His music is just timeless. But it's like, now when I think about the lyrics, it's like so sickening. But the music is just so good. It's like, am I gonna...
I don't know if I'd stop listening to his music.
You know?
Right? The guy did create good music. At the same time, you know, it's sad that he did this, okay? He should have got psychological help. He should have gotten some sort of counseling.
He should have been treated 20 years ago.
You know, back then people didn't really care. It wasn't a big deal, right? Everything was happening in the background in the dark. Right, and so that's sad.
And that's another thing. We don't talk about all the people in the backstage who are assisting, helping him with all these women and so on.
You know, because when you go to these concerts, you always have these guys that go look for girls and bring them back for the after party and everything.
That's right.
And so, you know, these guys should be held responsible as well. That's just my opinion, right?
So the hip hop. I don't know if you heard about Irv Gotti from Murder Inc. Irv Gotti. He sold 50% of his royalty stakes for $300 million.
Dude.
They didn't say the person to the person, but he sold his stakes, which I thought was still kind of low because I thought Murder Inc. hits back in the 2000s, early 2000s to the mid. It was like the top hits in the U.S. I thought,
but at the same time, the value goes down when you don't have new artists, new sign-ups, and everything like that, right? So, right, you do need to constantly sign new artists to build your brand. Still, $300 million is not something to cry about.
Yeah, okay? I know what you mean. It's just
I only got $300 million. That's all. That's all the guy would give me.
Yeah.
And it's only for 50% of the shares.
Yeah. Still.
Right? I mean, that means the company itself is worth about what, $1 billion?
Probably, yeah. And they still. I haven't heard any latest hits from Murder Inc.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like, you got to keep putting stuff out as a record label, and you have to keep putting things out, right?
So.
Okay, and what else has been happening in the hip hop world? I didn't read anything. I've been really busy.
One last topic from the hip hop world. The person who was a suspect for shooting and murdering Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
He was he acquitted? No, he wasn't acquitted. Sorry, he was charged. He was charged for murder. But the problem was there was an issue. I think a week prior that he was beaten up really badly in prison. Because usually he's isolated from the other prisoners, but for some strange reason they placed him with other prisoners.
General public.
Yeah, and you know they were all pissed off with him.
General public.
They just started to knock him out and beat him. I mean, to be honest, many people aren't feeling really sad for this guy because
killed someone.
Yeah, he took out a legend. So
you kill someone, you pay the price. Right?
Yeah.
Like Bretta used to say. Remember Bretta? You can't do the crime. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time.
yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean. Anyways, okay. So wow, that's sad to hear. It's not good that anybody gets hurt or anybody gets murdered and stuff like that, right? And so we're not judges, we're not juries, right? And
by the way, the case isn't fully complete yet. They're still doing the process of the case now, but. We'll hear more about it soon to come, and we'll keep you informed.
Yeah, all right.
So let's do it. Let's go and talk about the new topic today. But actually, these are the classic hip hop. Actually, this was the first major hip hop rap group that we love and adore, and their names, or this big name, is called Salt-N-Pepa. That's right.
The first ever.
That's right. There's a trio. There's a trio. Which people forget.
Okay. That won the Grammy. Hip hop Grammy. Hip hop crew. Hip hop. They were the first lady group.
That's right.
Okay. And they were the first ones to win a Grammy in the hip hop.
Yeah.
And later in the pop.
That's right. That's right.
And they were the first ones to transition from hip hop to pop, like top 40 pop type of music, right?
Yeah.
And they did it. Everybody was first like,
they had some critics.
They had the critics, right? But they proved them all wrong because hey, go ahead, laugh. Because they were making money, right? Actually, they weren't really in the beginning.
That's right. That's also
criticized. Okay, we'll talk about all that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it was the 80s. Hip hop was going wild, and it was starting to gain momentum, right? And it was mainly dominated by men. Right? And so it was like just crazy, okay? And I remember that so much growing up in that era. And watching all this. Actually, I'm one of the lucky ones. Not just one. I'm lucky that I grew up in that era because I actually saw the birth. Started with the birth of hip hop. Heard Grandmaster Flash. Saw the concerts whenever they did come to the UK, right? And then in the 80s, I saw it like merge even bigger in the 80s, and that's when all these groups came out, right? And LL Cool J,
that's right.
Heavy D, what's his name?
There's so much Cool Mo.
So many Cool Mo D. All these like guys just started coming out, right? Chubb Rock, remember Chubb Rock? Right? And so we'll be talking about these guys as we go through, right? So this was it, right? And then there was an emergence.
Yeah.
Okay, something that was lacking. Females.
Yeah, that's true.
And then they stepped in, right? There were a few female rappers, but they were hardcore rappers, right? Yeah. And they started off as hardcore, right? And Salt-N-Pepa came out, and they got street rep, cred, right? And so they're very significant to the 80s and the rise of female rap crews, right? And even their DJ was a woman.
Yes, that's right. DJ Spinderella. And we're going to talk about the whole thing about that. What was so interesting for me as a child these women can rap, and they can rap well, and they were fine.
And they flow.
They flow, but they were fine. They were fine. Especially in that Push It video. I'm not gonna tell you, but they were fine.
Yeah, Push It.
They
Push it. Push it real good. Baby, baby. Anyways, that song is everywhere, man. Like, that song was everywhere. As soon as you turn the radio on, you would have. Baby, baby.
Don't sing it. Don't sing it. Don't sing it.
Push it.
No!
Push it real good.
Time out!
Push it. Push it real good.
Salt-N-Pepa, if you're watching this.
Anyway, man, they were good. That song got you up and out and dancing.
It's a great song.
Right?
Great song.
And the song is not about what you think it is. Right? Its song is actually about pushing it to the limit, going it and doing it, like going further and really crossing the like crossing borders, like crossing your own the height of your success.
Yeah, pushing it up to the barrier. Yeah. But I think originally people thought it was more sexual.
Yes, that's why everybody was dancing to it, right? And the funny thing is, you know, when the songs like, you know, Two Live Cruise, hey, we want to say, right?
I love that label, that cover.
Anyways, they got fined for that.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
And so, anyways, and then the song "Push It" came out, and a couple of other songs came out, right? Girls jumped to those songs, dance.
Yeah, they loved it too.
Clubs, the more girls would dance to these songs, and you'd have girls singing, "Hey, we want to," and I was like, "What?"
Because the music was good.
So the music and the dance beats were really good, right? And so this is the whole purpose of music, right? They crossed the borders, they cut through the all male-dominated field of rap and hip-hop, right? And became huge.
Yeah, they did. You know, and with this sexy trio of Spinderella, DJ Spinderella, Cheryl James, and Sandra Denton. This trio, like you said, crossed borders well into the 90s as well. But we'll start with the history of them. They were working at a Sears store in Queens, in New York, when the co-worker, Salt's boyfriend, which is Herbie Lovebug Azar. And by the way, Herbie Lovebug, who helped produce them, also helped produce Kid and Play, which we'll talk about in a further.
And Quain. Kid and Play and Quain.
That's right.
So he was also not just their producer, but their managers as well, right?
That's right.
We'll talk about these other groups later, right?
Yes.
And so they were working at Sears as telephone receptionists, like getting messages and everything like this. And their goal wasn't even to be in music. They wanted to be nurses.
That's right.
They wanted to be nurses, right? And which is a really honorable goal as well, right? I'm sure they would have succeeded. But Herbie, right? He said, you know what? Listen, I'm doing this. He was going to the New York City Music and Media Art Center, right? That's where he was getting his, skills, building his skills. It's a school. It's for the art school, and so he was creating this production that he had the idea for these songs. He had the music. He wanted, and I think he did the lyrics for the first ones too. He did. And then. But I know they wrote some as well. They were helping him write the lyrics for the song as well. And so then they went in and then they did that song, right? And their first song,
it was the Showstopper.
The Showstopper, which was an answer to the show.
That's right.
Right, by DIZZ-E,
right?
DIZZ-E Fresh and Slick Rick's song. So this was sort of a battle call back to them, right? And the song was released as a single under the name Supernature, right? And so it was that was back in the summer of 1985. Do you remember what you were doing in 1985?
I was in preschool, and I was listening to Sesame Street soundtrack. Never mind.
Really?
Let's go.
That was the year that I actually took a year gap year after high school.
Okay.
And I was traveling around Europe, right? And we Yeah, so that's what I was doing in 1985. The summer of 1985 was when my gap year started, and when that Supernature song came out, I was just hitting the road with my best mate Charlie, right? And Charlie M, okay? And then we went and we traveled all over Europe. Anyways, and we heard some of these songs, right? And they weren't as popular in Europe yet, but they were. They were starting to get club plays and stuff like that, because in Europe at the time, the clubs were a little bit more open to really sassy kind of lyrics and sexy lyrics and related to sex. Europe has never had the hang up about sex like in the States.
You know, we have that politically correct type of vibe.
Sex is a natural thing in life. Okay, so anyways, that's another topic. Okay, anyway, so the song hit and peaked at number 46 on the R&B charts. That's really good for a first song. Hitting the chart, making the charts.
It was street.
You know how difficult hard it is to get like on the charts, the Billboard charts, right? That's really hard, right? And especially on the R&B charts. Okay, so based on this success, the duo, who were now named Salt-N-Pepa, right? And that was because Salt was a bit sultry and Pepper was really like hot, right? Yeah, she would do that, right? And so they then did the Showstopper and they performed this and they signed with the national indie label Next Plateau.
Yes, and this is where Herbie was thinking about adding another woman into the group as a DJ. And at first, he invited this woman called DJ Pamela Green as the first DJ Spinderella. She was beautiful. She's beautiful. But she seemed kind of off with doing the scratching and everything.
Cuts and all that.
And also, it seemed like her and Herbie were getting a little bit too close, which was bothering Salt from the group. And I think she missed a couple of practice sessions. They decided to get rid of her. And then finally,
but she claims, Pamela Green claims that there was nothing going on between them. They were just really good friends. But she realizes, looking from the outside into the relationship, it appeared they were closer than they really were, right? And so she felt like, she wasn't getting enough respect, and they weren't really involving her in any of the products, so she sort of left as well, decided that it wasn't working out. So.
And by the way, also she was in the album with the Hot, Cool, and Vicious, and she had also was involved in many of the hits. My Mic Sounds Nice, which is one of the best still when they're rapping Salt-N-Pepa. Yeah,
but the other thing we have to mention, right, is that Herbie, he also took credit for the songwriting, 100%, and credit for, despite the duo claims that they actually wrote many of the lyrics on the album, right?
I mean, I would say if he's a genius, if he can write all the women's lyrics, but I don't know. I'm just
no. I think because they didn't really read the contracts. They even admitted they didn't really read the contracts that they signed with him, and so that's why they were getting some money, but the royalties, the major royalties, were going to him, so he was making all the money. Again, we come to that. Contracts. If you're an artist and you're going to sign a contract, take it to a lawyer, entertainment lawyer, not just any lawyer, an entertainment lawyer, and have him or her read your contract thoroughly and have them represent you. Get an agent, a good agent, okay, that will make your deals for you. Okay, they didn't do that. They were just girls that were working in Sears. They had a chance to do this rap album, and they did it, and they became successful. However, their guy who signed them on and brought them in, he took all the credit for everything, right? And so he made all the royalties, right? So
what happened after this, when their hits came out with, like I said, My Mic Sounds Nice, Tramp, and Chick on the Side, they became moderate hits in the 1987 year. But before Cameron Paul, a DJ at a San Francisco radio station, remixed Push It.
The B-side of the Tramp, and it became a local hit, right? And then after that, but the way he mixed it sort of like picked up life of its own, right? Yeah.
They didn't like it at first. Actually,
real good.
The ladies didn't like it at first. They thought it sounded kind of silly, but they tried to make it more theatrical, and it became a hit.
And then the first time they sang it at a club, because back then the hip hop groups didn't perform in stadiums, they performed in clubs. And so they were so shocked that people were singing along and they loved the song. They said, "Okay, hey, we got a hit. We got an actual hit." And then it became Push It became a massive hit.
That's right.
You know what? You've heard us sing it. You've heard us talk about it. Now here, have a listen.
Wow.
Here and we're in effect. Want you to push it back.
Wow. I mean, every time I hear that, that's a timeless hit. That's a timeless hit. I need to keep it. Get up on this.
Push it,
Oh, wait. So we'll continue with Push It. Push It was climbing to number 19 on the top charts. And the single became one of the first rap records to be nominated for a Grammy. And Salt-N-Pepa jettisoned Green and added rapper DJ Spinderella. Now this is when I was talking about that, she left. But I think the DJ Green, she didn't expect Salt-N-Pepa to blow up like this. So that was probably her mistake as well.
But the good thing about it is that she was like a rapper and a DJ. So she could actually rap along with them, right? And so she was born Deidre.
Oh, you're talking about this one, the next one.
The next they have many DJs, many Spinderellas that took place, right? And then so
she was 16, by the way.
But Green thought this was like too much, right? And she just didn't. They were growing too fast, and she didn't think it was going to last very long because one-hit wonders type of thing. And then DJ Spinderella came along.
The
new one, right? That's the one that really stayed a long time with them. That's the one that.
Let me add a little bit about her. She came in at 16, very young, and she learned from her boyfriend at the time, and the boyfriend, because he was a DJ, was teaching her how to DJ backwards, forwards, and everything.
All the cuts, all the skits, all the scratches.
So her name, like you said, her name was Deidra Roper, and when she came in, she just left with the group, and she basically left her boyfriend. And I think a few years later, the boyfriend was shot and killed, and she felt so bad about that because that was her first love. And she gives everything to him. That's why she's, a success now as well.
And then so she came in before the recording. They recorded the second album, right? And so that was called Salt with a Deadly Pepper.
That's right.
I love that title, right? Though the album featured the top 10 R&B hits, Shake Your Thing, Shake Your Thing, right? Anyways, so was recorded with the go-go band from the EU. Called EU, right? It received mixed reviews and was only a minor hit, right? And so I think at that time, some groups made a really big, strong impact in the beginning, and then they came up with a second or third album that didn't really do well, right? But I'm glad they didn't stop, because then the remix album, The Blitz of Salt-N-Pepa Hits, was released in 1989, right? And the group prepared their third album, Black's Magic.
That's right.
Right?
So
that is an awesome album.
That's it. So upon its spring release, Black's Magic was greeted with strong reviews and sales. The album was embraced strongly by the hip hop community, which was more strident and it was more expressive. They had lots of hits coming out, like Expression. If you remember Expression, Expression spent 8 weeks at the top of the rap charts and went gold before it even cracked the pop charts. So it would later peak at, I think it was number 26. And
then another song came out, a single came out from that same album, right? Called Let's Talk About Sex, Baby.
Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things. You know what? We don't give it justice. Please,
became their biggest pop hit ever. Push It was huge. But let's talk about sex.
Anything goes. Let's tell it like it is and how it could be, how it was, and of course how it should be.
Well, I mean, that was such a great hit because they were at the time in the late 80s, early 90s. I mean, when we were hearing about all the people that were catching HIV and AIDS, Freddie Mercury, Magic Johnson, many famous celebrities. So I mean, not only celebrities but people. I mean, it was a good
large
symbol.
number of people that started getting AIDS, and AIDS wasn't a pandemic back then. I remember, like, you know, everybody was careful. You were drinking a glass of water, everybody's looking at who drank from the glass of water.
Yeah,
you weren't sharing beer, or you weren't sharing drinks, and people were like, no, right? So.
And by the way, sorry to cut you off. By the way, that song, there was an interview called Peter Jennings. He asked Salt-N-Pepa to change the song into a safe sex rap. Let's talk about AIDS, which also helped promote that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the exact same thing. So then they did the song "Let's Talk About AIDS." Okay, it was sort of the poster song for the theme song for fight against AIDS and to be careful with AIDS, like when you're having sex and everything. So this was good. It was good because now they were getting recognized from another area as sort of spokespeople for against AIDS, right? To protect yourself, right? So it was good, and that's when the word Jimmy hats came up.
That's right.
Jimmy hats.
This is very funny with all
this.
this.
The condoms were called Jimmy hats back then. Right?
So,
and if you're a little young and you wonder what's condom, I don't know either. I don't know what it is either. It's like a house, I think, a building that you live in, a condominium.
So before they recorded their fourth album, Salt-N-Pepa separated from Azor, who had already stopped seeing Salt several years ago, due to Azor cheating on her many times. Because
many times. Many times.
Yeah.
Right. So she put up with it, but then she said, "Okay, that's enough."
Yeah.
Right. They broke up, and so several years ago after that, right? So they then they broke up after that, and you know, they signed with a London record company, Polygram.
That's right.
So the group released Very Necessary.
Yes.
Right, in 1993.
Yes. And before that, they all had kids, by the way. They all had kids, and even DJ Spinderella.
Because they took some time off to have babies and have sort of a family life.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and so that's kind of nice. You can do that.
Yeah.
And,
so with this album, Very Necessary, the album was catchy and sexy without being a sellout, and the group's new sophisticated sound quickly became a monster hit. Shoop, shoop, baby, shoop, baby. Shoop reached number 4 on the pop charts, which led the album to the same position as well with What a Man. But first,
what a man.
We gotta let you hear both. But first, let's let you hear Shoop.
Let's hear Shoop.
Kick it, had to kick it. I'm not shy, so I asked for the digits.
Yes, Shoop was great, and like we said, we're going to show you with What a Man, which was a duet.
What a bunch of women.
What duet with the vocal group In Vogue, and In Vogue is a great group. Before Destiny's Child, in my life was In Vogue, but we're going to talk about that.
Before Vogue was SWV. SWV was actually SWV and In Vogue came out around the same time.
I thought In Vogue was a little bit better.
No, they were better. But I like both of them.
And SWV, please don't get mad at me. I love them too. Yeah.
In Vogue.
Yeah.
Right, those girls can have that. They have like a wicked voice, man. The wicked voice and the bodies. Damn.
Let's save them. Let's talk about What a Man. Let's show you What a Man.
Yeah.
About.
Here it is.
I wanna take a minute or two and give much respect to the
Wow, I mean, those, you're right.
Let me tell you, they reached number 3 for both the R&B and the pop charts in 1994.
Yes. Yeah. I was gonna say you're right. Those girls, they're fine. In Vogue, it was fine. I'm sorry. Now for you youngins, I know you keep saying Destiny's Child, and you know that was like the best.
These girls were way in the 90s. They could dance. They could move.
Wow.
They dressed. They were very classy ladies.
Yes.
And SWV was the same way as well, right?
Great.
And so actually, Salt-N-Pepa actually recorded a song with SWV later as well. And so this reached number 3, man.
That's right.
What a man, right? They were talking about me, by the way. Okay, so and
all of us in our minds. So the final single from the album, None of Your Business, was a lesser hit, but it won the Grammy for the best rap performance in 1995.
Yeah, but it was a good song.
Yeah, it was.
It was awesome, man.
Yeah. And should we hear it?
Yes,
let's hear it. Yeah.
None of your business.
It's none of your business. It's my business.
Check it. I can't do nothing, girl, without somebody bugging. I used to think that it was me, but now I see it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, these hits were classics. I mean, Salt-N-Pepa always were making great hits. So since the release of Very Necessary, Salt-N-Pepa have never been quiet, spending some time on the beginning of acting careers.
Yeah.
Both had already appeared in the 1993 comedy Who's the Man?
Yeah.
And
and then they did a lot of other special appearances, and they did songs like they made special appearances in commercials, and they also did on some like special appearances on the shows. So they were more working on their acting careers, and they were also I think they were also writing lyrics and producing songs.
They were
at that time.
They were still producing. It just, I think what happened later on in the late 90s was that they were not as popular as before, and they were starting to go down to clubs like low income clubs, and not like in the big stage reunions as they used to. And this affected Salt, because Salt, she just saying, look, I'm getting older. Is this the meaning of my life? Just rapping, shaking my booty? I have kids now. What am I doing? It's like Pepa, she don't mind. She didn't care. And at the same time, Pepa was later married to Tretch from Naughty by Nature.
Yeah.
That was kind of a tumultuous relationship, by the way, because of physical abuse and so on. But we don't want to talk so bad about Tretch in this case. But
we don't know much about that yet, so we'll talk about that research and then get back to you, right? So let's move into the 2000s. Okay, the songs were still playing in the clubs, and they were still getting a lot of royalties. They made some special appearances on shows, on comedy shows and movies.
That's right.
Okay, so both Salt-N-Pepa appeared in 2005. They appeared on VH1.
VH1.
I think that's an American station. Music station.
Music channel.
Hip Hop Honors in September 2005.
Yeah.
All three women reunited the following year for the Next Hip Hop Honors program. Okay, for the Next Hip Hop program, and they performed "What a Man" with In Vogue. And this was the first time the trio performed. Okay. In 6 years.
6 years.
And this was their first performance with In Vogue on stage.
Wow. They never performed with them on stage?
No, they never performed with them on stage. It was always a background play, and they sang it. When they performed, they always sang it, sang the part, right? And they also had the backup vocals of the In Vogue on it. So, anyways, I actually did see Salt-N-Pepa in concert.
No, you didn't. That's a lie.
No, I did.
Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know you then.
No, go ahead.
I didn't even know you were born. It was still a shadow dream. He was a shadow dream back then, right? So and I remember them singing these songs, and I go, oh wow, there's In Vogue. But they did it. They always, but it still worked out. I mean, a lot of these people do that, right? So a lot of the artists do that. Salt-N-Pepa performed that song on stage in 2007.
Exactly. You know, and on October 14, 2007, Salt-N-Pepa's show debuted on VH1. Pepa initially started the formation of the series as she previously appeared on the network in The Surreal Life. I don't know if that was a good image for her, because she was...
It was called the Salt-N-Pepa Show.
Yeah.
Right?
But with the Salt-N-Pepa Show, the chronicled events in the lives of Pepa and Salt as they work out their past issues and return to the recording studio.
I actually liked watching that. That was actually really nice. You got to learn a lot about them and the issues that they were facing and things that they had, which built their friendship even stronger after.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? It brought them together, and because there was a time there they sort of separated from each other, didn't really talk to each other, right? Later in 2008, the trio performed at the BET Hip Hop Award. Okay, and Pepa released she released an autobiography titled "Let's Talk About Pep." In August 2008, the book was co-written by Karen Hunter, and to accompany the book, Pep launched her own network, social network, right, and starred in her own reality show, TV series, Let's Talk About Pep, also on VH1 network.
She knew how to market herself. You have to give her credit for that.
Yeah.
So on May 9, 2009, Salt-N-Pepa performed a concert in Honolulu that also featured SWV and Lisa. All Jam. The name of the shows was Ladies of the 80s.
Yeah.
They performed at the Good Vibrations Festival in Australia in February 2010. That's right. And the Southwest Tour Festival, Clapham Common, London on August 29, 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad we didn't see that. We were here. We were here. We could have flown there. Why didn't we know that?
That's true.
How come we didn't know?
I don't know. Yeah.
Then on October 12, 2010, Salt-N-Pepa received the I Am Hip Hop Award at the BET Hip Hop Awards.
BET represents.
BET.
Yeah. And on February 4, 2011, Salt-N-Pepa headed on a national tour titled Salt-N-Pepa's Legends of Hip Hop Tour. Other acts on the tour included Houdini, Rob Bass, Curtis Blow, Dougie Fresh, Biz Markie,
Naughty by Nature, MC Light,
That's
Big
right.
Daddy Kane, and Kumoki.
That's right.
Slick Rick.
Yeah.
Why don't we say Rick Slick Rick, okay? And Chub Rock.
He's British.
Right? Anyways.
So on November 21st, 2011, Salt-N-Pepa appeared on the X Factor's Australia's third season with contestant and finalist Johnny Rufo.
When they performed, Push It.
It's still catchy.
Okay. On July 30th, 2012, Salt-N-Pepa opened for rap group Public Enemy in Brooklyn, New York as part of the Martin Luther King Jr. concert series.
That's right.
Okay. They brought the kid duo Kid and Play after performing What a Man.
What a Man, that's right. And the trio made a November 2014 appearance in a Geico insurance commercial performing Push It. DJ Spinderella replaced temporary DJ Wendy Williams on the Wendy Williams Show during Salt-N-Pepa's performance of Push It, first airing December 18th in 2015. The trio's first hit song, Shoop, made a comeback on February 12, 2016 as one of the main theme songs featured in the blockbuster Marvel movie,
Deadpool. I remember that, man. I thought that was so cool.
Yes.
So, the duo, along with DJ Spinderella, performed in Red Deer, Alberta. Hello, Red Deer. In Canada.
No,
that's in Canada.
Yes.
Okay. And for the Western Days at NMAX Centurion on July 21st, 2016. Oh man, I would have loved to see that because Red Deer is actually a really beautiful city in Calgary, Alberta, or it's in Alberta, right? And it's just outside of Calgary.
I've never been to Canada, so I always hear the stories from my partner. So, in 2017 to 18, the group toured as part of the I Love the 90s tour, performing in various locations, including in the UK, Wembley Arena, Glasgow, Liverpool Echo Arena, and Birmingham. And on October 16, 2018, Salt-N-Pepa appeared on the US version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Kid and Play, serving as their +1 in Studio Lifeline.
In March 2019, it was announced that Salt-N-Pepa would have a biographical mini-series coming to the Lifetime Network, highlighting the rise of the group to become one of the first successful female groups, rap groups in hip hop. Queen Latifah, as well as Salt-N-Pepa, will be the executive producers, of the series.
That's right. And on May 2nd, 2019, the mixtape tour commenced in Cincinnati, Ohio. Performers of this tour include Salt-N-Pepa, Debbie Gibson, Tiffany, and
Naughty by Nature, with the New Kids on the Block as billed as the headline performers. The next day, DJ Spinderella announced on Instagram that she was leaving the group, and that she was terminated from Salt-N-Pepa as of January, and broke her silence about the band. Hadn't made a public announcement regarding their parting of ways.
I think a big issue for that was because Salt-N-Pepa were doing movies and biopics, and they were kind of not involving her story.
Well, she would appear in their series, like the reality show. She would appear once in a while, right? But she wasn't regular on there. I think she should have been part of it. She should have been on there.
I would like to know more about her story.
I would like to know more about her story as well, right? And so DJ Coco Chanel, formerly of BET Network and the Hot 97 FM, became the replacement DJ.
That's right. And on January 23rd, 2021, Lifetime released a biopic, huge biopic, Salt-N-Pepa, and Salt-N-Pepa served as the executive producers, while Queen Latifah serves as the producer as well. Yeah. And Mario Ben Peebles, which you know him as a great actor and director, directed the film
New Jack City.
Yeah,
New Jack City.
That's right. Directed the film, a special edition of the film that was released on January 23rd, 2021.
Wow.
Yeah.
These girls were busy, and they still continue to be busy. And you gotta remember, these girls have family, they have children, their children are all grown up and everything, right? Yes, so they're still doing other things. So this is the one thing I've noticed about all these rap artists, right? That they're really successful ones, right? They don't just stop, right? They move on to other things because you can't rap for the rest of your life, but you can still produce, you can still direct, you can still go into movies, you can go into commercials, you can do start your own clothing line, you can do. There's so many possibilities, right? And so this is why I like a lot of these people. I like they inspire me. Because you don't just do one thing, right? Do many things, experience many things, right? So thank you for showing us this.
We love you, Salt-N-Pepa.
We do, we love you, folks, right? You guys,
are an inspiration to us.
We used to listen to you guys, and now we're performing ourselves,
that's right? That's
and
right.
So,
I still think you're fine, Salt-N-Pepa. I still think you're fine, DJ. Give me a holla. I'm sorry, but just give me.
They can't give you a holla.
They give me a holla. Put. No. Anyway, we want to thank you guys. See, this is my fault because it's rubbing off on me, his actions.
Call me, not him, me.
So we.
I was still the man when he was a baby in diapers. Okay, so going, little mommy, my dick is away.
So we thank you again, Salt-N-Pepa.
Okay.
Peace to you.
All right. Congratulations on your success.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So it's that time.
Woo!
It's that time.
Is it that time? We're there already.
It's that time for the top 10 hits. Baby.
Interceptor when I caught it. Smith & Wesson, I ain't bought it. Victor Fallon would've bought it. With respect and since I shouted. Give me an op in the
Try to lead us on this ride, cause I kill something. Homicide running through my mind, that's my peel busting.
Conquer with the aim. Be careful who you trust, salt and sugar look the same. Wu-Tang with the dust now.
Skill you from the DIZZ-E. So we in the shallow so you can use your feet.
Back on the set like I never left. I'm taking steps to be the best, so they lay me to rest.
Remember what happened to the last one? Hop out and smash them, look Brody blast them. Obviously me on the plasma, I know they mad.
Over the millions, how much they pay me a million? I'm struggling and Devin and charity. Say Craig, I be smacking the film.
Socks and deal flops, tennis, chain on Cuban links.
I got power with this 50 Glock, make you take out by your Cuban link.
Plan, reaching the game, lose a hand. Where you stand? What was your
On the other side, you gon' get blitzed for trying to mediate. I'm gonna run this money.
Right, man.
These hits are good.
These hits are good. They're always good, man. I love the hits. The hits keep on coming.
Yes, they are.
Right? Anyways, these were our top 10. We hope you liked it, right?
Yes.
And we hope you liked our show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Right? And keep coming back, and we'll keep sending you. We'll try to keep putting out good products here.
Always.
And hope you like what we talk about.
Yes.
And we love you guys.
We love you guys.
You guys love us.
Guys, please remember to keep subscribe. That's
right. And follow us on all our social media sites.
Wait.
And don't forget to ring the bell.
Ding, 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 ding. That's right. And like you said, don't forget to channel us on Instagram,
on Instagram, Twitter, right, and
TikTok,
right, and on Critical Opinion, the YouTube channel.
That's right.
Go there.
That's right.
Right after this episode, go there.
That's right.
Go. It's up there in our banner. You can go up in the banner. Just click on it. You don't even have to search for it. Click on that Critical Opinion in the banner.
That's right.
Right up there. Right up there. Right up there. See, I'm looking up there. It's up there. It's up there. You can't see it. It's up on your side. On the other side.
If I
Oh yeah. Fat neck. Can't help it. So anyways, thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Have a great week. We
you.
love you. Peace, love, and respect.
In the vibe.